Hello, this is feedback at SAP. In this video, we're going to show you some of the new features in the SAP Business One mobile application, basically based on the release 1.3 that was launched in August 2011. That was a quick impression of the new features in 1.3 version. You can download this application on the Apple App Store. Actually, anybody can do that. Install it on your iPhone or your iPad and play around with it. We have a demo environment that anybody can link into. If you're a Business One customer, you can change the link from your mobile device to your own business data in your office and see your own data on the mobile device. And you can do that, one of the changes we made, you can do that now not only for the professional licensed users, but also the limited licensed users. So let's take a little bit more detailed look at what's new.
One of the first things you will notice is a new icon, a new interface. So Business One is now aligned with the corporate standard for interfacing for mobile solution from SAP, using this yellow and gray colors a lot. And as you can see, the menu bar now is much longer in version 1.3, so we'll talk about each of these in more detail. So first we're going to look at the home screen. So now we're going to look into a specific activity where Tom Mobile is the contact person and a monthly review is the title. So now I'm going to tap this icon here, and we're going to now actually synchronize between Business One and the agenda of the iPad in this case. So we open the agenda, and we can see here is this monthly review meeting with Tom Mobile, and in this way the activities have been, let's say, coming from Business One via your iPad into your agenda. So we go back to Business One, and what you notice right away, we get into the same place as where we ended. So Business One in version 1.3 is actually multitasking. Now for approval, alerts and reports, there is not really that much new. I'm just going to show here the report because I think that's such a great feature that you can get whatever report you created back in the office onto your screen. So let's look a little bit into business partners. There's a couple of new things there. So the first thing is that right away you can see the value of any UDFs created. You don't have to now tap to see the value and the names of those UDFs. And here is a transaction a tab where you can actually zoom into all different type of transactions. We're going to talk more about that later on. You can edit a lot more than what you could. You can go into different contact persons, add contact persons, edit the old ones, obviously. And you can then obviously do that while you're out there at the customers talking with them. For example, here as well, if the customer tells you, hey, you keep sending your letters to the wrong address, you can directly here update the address while you're sitting there with your customer, and the system back in the office will obviously also be updated. So a couple of more things here. You can also change here the user-defined field default if you again decide to do that sitting at the customer place. So we're going to take a look at the stock as well. We made one change here based on the requests from a lot of customers. So we're going to pick up one item here. Often you want to see how much do I have in stock, but a lot of customers told us it would be great if you can also see in which warehouse that stock is located. So by tabbing you can zoom in to a more detailed level and see that, hey, yeah, we got also something on the West Coast. So if your customer is close to the West Coast warehouse, you can tell them that they can get their goods much faster than if they were not. On the price list, we didn't make so much changes. We're going to talk now about the sales opportunities. So you can look up information about all the sales opportunities defined in the system. You cannot create new ones in version 1.3, but you can look them up so that if you're at a customer, you can always talk about what is in your system back in the office, so you have that clear information. You can also look up sales orders, and if you wipe the screen here, as you can see I just did, the screen will actually refresh to see if there are some new sales orders in the system. So let's look a little bit, what can you actually look up regarding sales orders? And again, you can look up, you cannot create. You have a header tab where you'll look at some general information about sales order. Then there's a contents tab where you can look at the items and the quantities and even the prices associated. You can look at logistics, which is our shipment addresses and billing addresses and even shipment method. Let's say you're at a customer and they're asking you about a certain sales order to put in, and they're just wondering when you're going to deliver. So you can look that up here. You can look up the delivery date, and if it was yesterday, you might tell them, hey, you're going to get that very soon. And you can even look up the payment terms for that specific sales order. You can also look up and look at the sales quotations. Again, you cannot create any in version 1.3, and this is pretty similar to the sales order. You can look up all different type of information related to a specific sales quotation. Hey, you might say, God, this is still open, let's email the contact person for your sales quotation at the customer. So right away you can generate the mail to that person as a link to that sales quotation in your system. And now I'm going to look at something that is really good looking on the iPad and new in the 1.3 version, and that's some standard dashboards. So we're going to look at sales analysis. So the system is going to now build up different type of pieces of information. It will start with some fiscal year analysis for how you're doing sales-wise. It will talk about the opportunity win rate, the top customers, the top items, and then an overview of opportunity statuses. So you can actually then double tap on any of these windows, and as you can see here, you can zoom in. You can tap on one of these bars and get to see the data behind that bar. And in this way you can kind of drill down a little bit here to see a little bit more data. It's basic dashboards. It's only 2 of them. We're pre-delivering. You cannot change them. You cannot create your new ones in version 1.3, but you can have your customers look at some basic information in a nice way. So here's the last one. If I can manage to type that correctly, yeah, there it comes. This is one interesting one, visual. If you tap a certain area, the circle will rotate and show that area lined up at the end of the circle. So here we have the second one's cash flow. So first the system will show some ingoing and outgoing activities expected, forecasted over the next days and weeks. So you can see whether you're going to be okay on cash. You're going to show you some of the transactions that are influencing, and it will also show you information split a little bit on business partner amount. So again, these are some basic dashboards. You cannot change them yourself. You cannot create new ones to yourself. Now the last features we're going to look at is actually outside of Business One, but in the settings. So we're going to go to the settings for Business One, and based on feedback from a lot of customers, they said, can I influence which database Business One will connect to? So yes, here you can. You can enter the name of the database, and the system will go and get data from that one. We have also entered a second data demo server in China. So if you want to see Chinese letters on your screen, you can link to that one instead of the English one in Germany.
So thank you very much for having watched this video. Try it out yourself. It's really cool.